Right guys, so we're back in Future Fitness. I've got another one of my training partners, another Big Darren.
How's it going?
And so what we're going to do today, we're going to do a pull session, well, back session, back in triceps. Oh, by the way, we're doing triceps.
Cool.
Right.
So it's me.
So what's happening this week is that my volume's been taken right down. For the past like two weeks, I've just felt like a bit numb going into sessions. Like my body isn't quite recovering enough. So the purpose of this week is to just train 3 times, but still going to train as intense as we possibly can, going to failure, going as heavily as we possibly can. But the overall volume across the week, that's what's different this week. And that should allow me to then next week to go back to what I was doing before volume-wise. So I don't quite know the numbers or anything on top of my head, but you're probably about half in the volume just for 3 days this week. So I'm just going to crack on that. Again, we're just keeping the same exercise. You don't switch anything up. Technically this is a deload because it's a volume deload. But we're not going to change anything up in terms of the exercise. We're going to keep it heavy, going to keep it basic exercise that we're always doing in the previous training rotations. So nothing too mental today to watch. Basically, it just it gives you an insight into what guys do when their volume is up here, and then when you have to adjust it to accommodate your energy levels and your recovery. So that's basically what we're going to do today. Perfect.
I'm at a different point that Andy's doing. Andy's coaching with Patrick now, and he's doing all his volume stuff, like his SST. All my volumes like stripped right back, so I'm just doing like very low volume now. We're just kind of building my calories up, so I've just started my off season. So right now, Andy might be doing multiple sets on everything today, but I'm just going to be doing like one working set and then one deload, and then that's it. So I'm deliberately keeping my volume like mega low just now. So I'll be doing slightly different to what Andy's doing today, but same exercises.
Two working sets, 8 to 12 reps, nothing, no fancy stuff, no rest pausing, no drop sets, none of that stuff. So as you can see, it's not only are we decreasing the volume across the week through lesser sessions, but we're also decreasing the intensity increases as well. So the TUT, rest pauses, all that's gone just for this week, just to kind of get the recovery back up to the speed. This is definitely an exercise that a lot of guys and girls, you see people butchering it, using far too much weight and they're far too upright and they're barely using any range of motion. So I'm quite hard on myself when I do this, and I go quite light. In the past, when I was younger, I used to put like 3-4 plates on and swing about with it, but you don't really feel like you're contracting and using the muscle, so I'm quite hard on myself when I do this. I go a wee bit lighter than normal and just try and get really good form. Try and get as bent over as you feel comfortable, but you see loads of people doing it wrong, so
You need to just try and not lift with your ego. Me and Andy are both using separate bars because I'm taller than Andy. He's got short legs. He's like, that's not going in the edit.
So I've got like a little hack, right? You see a lot of people using Vibrams nowadays. Those like flipper shoes. And but a lot of people, including myself, as much as I agree with how they could be helpful, there's no way I'm wearing them. So what to do is get socks, but get yoga socks. So yoga socks have the rubber bits in the bottom. So you get the benefits of Vibrams without looking like a dick.
Yoga sock sales going through the roof now. Put that in the flippers. I've got 15 on that side.
Oh, you fucking
even the pros, even the pros mess up.
Previous training rotation, I've been doing this first. So top set shows you the difference when you change the exercise order. Sometimes what happens is, like, especially in like busier gyms, you have to accommodate for how busy the gym is, and then have to swap exercises around or switch positions, and then you sometimes notice that people get really frustrated when they have to swap two exercises around, but that's just part of it. You're going to obviously be stronger if you've done another one first. Like there, that's 30 kilo off what I do in the other training rotation, but it's all relative. Again, with the hamstring day, I usually start off with deadlifts. I pulled 300 for 4 last time, but I'm not going to go near that with this. Bent over row taxes my lower back quite a bit. Not to the extent where I can't deadlift at all, but that's another thing, is if I was going to do deadlifts in my back sessions, put them towards the end, because I prefer free weight rowing over machines and pull downs. Therefore your lower back's going to be pretty fucking taxed. So I'd rather be able to concentrate as much energy and power into those, which I feel are more beneficial for the upper back, lats, and then finish with deadlifts. Good lock out that last one.
Something I quite like doing on this one is, see if you feel like when you come fully up, the weight starts resting every time you come up, like you feel like you can get a wee bit of an extra stretch. Just go down on your knees. You look a wee bit stupid, but who cares? It means you can get a full range. When you're spotting somebody on an exercise like this, or spotting anyone in general, our general rule is just don't touch the bar unless you absolutely need to. Far too many people take the rep away from the person that they're hanging with. Andy's stuck just now, so I'm just going to get him out. I don't know what Andy would do without me. Come on.
Come on. Big negative.
Come on, man. Come on.
Come 9, 10. So as you saw from that session, everyone kind of deloads differently, and each individual person, their deloads will differ as well throughout the training cycle, throughout the year. So like I said at the start, I'm stripping back the volume this week, but again, as you saw, the intensity, it doesn't drop, it still remains. And then what you would do at the end of that week cycle of training, you would reanalyze and see if you're able to push forward back into what you were doing before volume-wise, or repeating the week, or even decreasing the volume even further. So if I'd done 4 exercises there for back, I might pull it down to 3 and then 2. Deloads they're no one size fits all. I mean, a deload to some people can be a complete week off, complete 2 weeks off, depending on how hard you train. So that gives you an insight into the kind of deload I'm doing. Obviously Darren did his usual back session, but hopefully that gives you an indicator that deload doesn't mean slack off, it just means adjust and put a bit more emphasis on recovery. That's kind of what I planned out to do anyway.
Yeah, every deload is going to be different.
Yeah. So that gives you kind of an insight into, well, I've done a few videos now where the volume was like up here with SST, full SST training, and then we filmed another where it's kind of in between, where you're taking principles of that, but then still applying it with the low volume loading and the heavy loading. And then you've just seen what I would consider, just now as part of my training, a deload and deload intensity. So hope that was insightful for you, and if you feel like applying it to yourself, apply it to yourself. There we go. Cheers guys.